Hello, I'm Scott, the breathing guy. I will train you to locate, generate, activate core key energy in physical activity. This video series is going to introduce you to Qi Gong. It's a word from China. Qi means energy, Gong means method of using, directing, and forming energy. That's a Western term. And an Eastern term, it's the way of energy. Put the two ideas together and you comprehend what's possible in every person's ability to breathe. Breathing is the central aspect of developing your key energy in any physical activity, in rest, or any way possible. So what I want to do is introduce you to a form of Qi Gong that I have put together from my years of experience of different forms of Qi Gong, and how to make it really engaging for you to help from a health point of view. In fact, your first health point should be your breath. That's your first. In this age of finding alternative ways to feel healthy, understanding how to be healthy, foods, senses, other things around massages. But if you don't get your breath engaged to its best ability, all the rest is nice accoutrements, has a little effect, but it doesn't get amplified. For the breath is the key to good health. And then it goes from there. It's the foundation. No breath, no energy, no life. So understanding what Qi Gong does and informing of what's possible. Now, what I'm breaking down to explain what you're going to be looking at when you see Qi Gong movements, understanding how it affects you, how to do it. You have to have two different approaches at the same time. The first idea, when you look at someone's doing a Qi Gong movement, if you go on YouTube or anything, look at their lower body. That's from the waist down. What's their footwork doing? Position of footwork involved. Then the movement of the hips, the core area involved. The next area is your upper body. What is it doing? The head positions, turning, moving. And the third point is the hands. What are the hands doing? Those are the three general areas that you have to look at to really understand if you want to get the best benefit for time spent and develop your own Qi Gong experience, your own ability to breathe, to move energy through your body, to direct your energy. Now, the other set of idea you have to understand is what all Qi Gong about is feet, hips, core, upper body, shoulders, head position, and hands related to fingers. Look how the fingers are shaped. How they use their fingers affects the internal organs involved. So movement. Then you got the breath itself. How do you use the breath within the movement to activate the energy, your mind directing, amplify your muscles, your fascia, everything involved around. It's all centered around to how well can you breathe. And the whole idea of Qi Gong is to amplify the breath within the shaping of the torso. Your whole torso is basically your energy source, your strength source. And where do you want to direct that is to your feet, hands, and head. Those are your three critical points, all generated from the core and the torso interacting together. Now, how to breathe, core breathe. Now, the first, if you want to say type of breathing you have to learn, and I will show you, is how to breathe like a baby. 90% or more of all adults don't breathe like a baby does. If you ever watch a baby breathe, a little belly button goes up to inhale and down to exhale. See, most adults, you say breathe, they pull their belly button in and the chest expands. The reasons why we have such a great transformation from way a baby breathes and way we breathe is basically an emotional development process. So here's how the way to look at this. The way you breathe is a reflection of your emotional, physical reality in the moment. When you're emotionally upset, you will breathe one way. In other words, your breath gets shorter, or you might inhale, might exhale when you're angry. But when you're happy, you get these long exhales. involved, you're more relaxed, your range of breath goes higher, you're not as tense. So understanding the way you breathe supports whatever emotional expression, physical emotional expression you're doing in the moment. What Qi Gong does is basically draws your emotion out, brings you inside, and to see or experience. It's an experience reality. And the experience is not one-dimensional. It's multi. Every time you do it, you'll have a different phase, a different like you change, your Qi Gong changes. And the experience just changes related to that. That's the beauty of understanding the breath. Now, to really focus in the value of the breath, I'm breaking it down even more. Everyone heard the word spirit. They put, oh, you got the spirit in this, spirit in that, or whatever. If you look at the dictionary, root word for spirit is a spirit breath. No breath, no spirit. So how you breathe, how you form it, how you bring about, is actually developing your spirit as an expression into things you're doing. Like singing or dancing involved. All those activities, if you lose your breath, you know, the feelings that are being emitted from that song diminishes drastically, and your movement in dancing goes down, or any physical sport. So understanding the breath, creating the breath, and the breath is formed in the torso, and it begins down here in the lower chamber. I have created 3 chambers. I identify 3 chambers to make your breath. That's the way you approach it. Below the belly button, diaphragm, and chest. Those are the 3 areas you can breathe from to bring air in and release air out. How you inhale, how you exhale, it makes a huge difference on your energy, physical sensations. So Qi Gong, the form I bringing to you, develops all these, and you have to find your own breath form. I'm going to give you the cluing, I'm going to give you the direction. I'm looking for an experience, not just for you to do it, because you can do it and be thinking of 6 different things. But when you're in real Qi Gong, what you're doing is directing the movement, the muscles itself. The sensation amplification of the body is what Qi Gong offers. The amplification of the reality of your physical being within the surroundings around you. You just don't draw air from just surrounding. It's the environment around you that amplifies the energy forces that you're bringing in with the breath and you exhumed out of you. So the replacement, the whole idea of movement is the key element to Qi Gong. To work your torso, work your legs, tone every muscle, coordinate every muscle, strengthen, all at the same time. But you, in a conscious way, a conscious awareness way of all the things that are happening within and without. Most people think of things out, but not themselves in the surroundings. This is about you within your surroundings. And you have to redirect your focus, your mind focus on that. You can do the other too. You have to do that in some situations in life. So having a balance between the 2 forces amplifies, if you want to say, your health possibilities, the enjoyment and appreciation of your own life. But the breath is the key element for health. If you don't have breath, all the rest of the items you're talking about, seeing food, all that, it helps, it's nice, it's pleasant, and you can believe anything you want. But without the breath, all those things are for naught. That's my argument on there. So taking the time to be healthy. Having the body healthy within the breath makes the mind much better in your attitude as well. So calming yourself down, bringing focus, working your energy in new ways, and a whole, if you want to say, I like the word gestalt. It's a German word, the whole way involved. And you're aware of every aspect of that. Believe it or not, everyone's aware of what's going on around them. It's just how well can they direct it, or what's their impulses. And all impulses are driven by energy. That's your physical energy channeled through the body within the behavior you're doing and with the desires. So understanding that process gives you opportunity if you wish to alter it, modify something, change it, replace it. You change it through breathing to change the body's form to feel differently when you're doing something different. So the first thing I want to do is, after this little introduction, is begin the lower body. Understanding the lower body area, that's from the waist down, hips, feet. You have to truly appreciate how to move within Qi Gong movements, and especially the way I approach movement. It tones the muscles, coordinates the muscles. And when I say feet, that means ankle, foot, and toes. I'm going to have a walking class. That's coming up next. But anyway, this is basic movement. So if I come back here, and what you want to do, first thing to create your breath, down here below, like a baby down here, is you gotta shift your hips slight tilt forward to neutral. It's called neutral in Pilates, where when you push your belly button out and down slightly like this, you can push this area out. When this area goes out, belly button goes out, the glutes here come up. That's the key factor. When this goes in, pull the belly in, this goes down. You got the front area here for energy, the back here, here is for strength. So you're mixing the two, forward and back. And how much energy you want, you're going to have less strength. The more strength you want, the energy is focused that way. And this is the area for strength, this is the area for developing your breath and for energy. So get the two areas within the core area itself. That's why, if you can test this, if you have an arch in your tip of your head, try to push your stomach out here, there's no range of motion. We're talking about range of motion. How far can you pull your belly button in and how far can you push it out? Most people can push it all up, but if you pull your belly button way in, your range difference, like a bellows, is greater. And pulling your belly button in is what releases energy in your internal organs. Pulling it and exhale is the release of energy. Inhales brings energy in, exhales the release of energy. So understanding when you want to release energy, it's on an exhale. Like runners, they're exhaling, they want that long exhale when they're running for a long distance. Sprinters generally like inhale and they almost like pause their breath and let a little air at a time as they're going sprinting down the road. Because they need that tension amplification, it's not for long distance. So understanding this part first. The next chamber is here and next here. When you breathe, you push this out, belly button out, then you go ahead diaphragm, and then you go up in your chest here, and you're actually, when you push out here, your lats come out. And as you're exhaling, your lats come in, belly button goes in, this goes in, and you pull this and your chest expands, so your shoulder goes back. This is a mistake most people make, I argue, because it limits the range of motion. You can judge what I say if it amplifies the range of breath you can come in and the amount of breath you can release. That's the judgment. Please hold yourself to. How can if I move my body this way, can I increase my breath in here and can I let more air out involved? That's the key thing. It's like a trumpet player or any woodwind player. They have that long exhale. Now, there's two types of breathing. There's meditative breathing and active breathing. Right now, I'm going into active breathing. What's the difference? Meditative breathing is even breathing. As fast as you inhale is as fast as you exhale. Active breathing, you inhale quick, pause, and exhale long. Like you inhale like on a count of 5, 1, 2, 3, 5, pause for about 4, 5, and then you exhale the next 20 seconds. If you go lay in bed and you can just lay in bed and inhale, push your belly button out, pause for a second, let your shoulders drop, and then you exhale for 20 seconds. You know what you have to do in order to do that? You have to first soften your shoulders. So all stress in your body, and it begins up at shoulders, will have to be loosened, softened, released. Then you can exhale longer. The more stress you have up here, the less you can move down here, the less breath you will create. That's the rule. And you can hold me to it on that, and you'll see the difference. Because if I can't change your stress, I can't change your emotional, physical reality. And Qi Gong, the whole process, the thinking process of that, is really amplifies fluidity. Being fluid, letting your breath flow evenly, let your energy flow, let your sensations through your body flow. So the first thing I'm going to deal with is feet. Now, for basic Qi Gong foot action, for this, is your feet are pointed straight ahead. So many people have their feet out like this a little bit, like this. Why do you want your feet push up? Because then you can push your belly button out more and you can pull your stomach in. You can test this. In fact, if you push your feet perfectly straight, tip your hips slightly forward, now push your stomach out, push it out and down just a little out of 45, and then exhale. See how you move. Now, just for fun, turn your feet out like this and try to move this and try to push it out and try to pull it in. It locks it up. So the more your feet are straight forward, the more this ability can come about, involved. That's why your feet are forward. Is so it gives your, if you want to say, a lower core, middle here, greater range. The first thing when your feet are out kills is here, but you can still breathe here and here, fine. It's just it kills the lower core. You want the whole torso involved to some degree in your breathing in a Qi Gong exercise. Generally speaking, one way or another. Basic, this is all basic. Everything I'm showing you is basic. So you keep your feet here. Now, I said, start from the bottom, look at the feet. When you do a Qi Gong movement in this art, you want to rock forward on the inhale on the ball. That gives you ability to have your stomach go out further, and as you're exhaling, you want to rock back on your heels. So it's a 60-40 balance. So when you go forward, you're 60% on the ball. This is basic. Exhale, you pull it back. This is basic. There's more advanced, believe me. And inhale. And if you push out, inhale, let the air flow through your nose, down your chest here, then pause, and then exhale. As you're exhaling, pull it out and let the air go up your spine around. And then pull your toes up. Have your ball, if you're touching, but pull your toes up as you're exhaling. The more you pull your stomach, pull your toes. The more you pull your toes up, the more you can exhale and pull your stomach in. That's why people have, I was going to say, tight feet. Their breath range here is low. And when I say tight feet, you can see them when they're walking, the ankles are so stiff they hit very sharply on the heel. So understanding the footwork. Now the other aspect of the footwork here, so it's inhale, like I do this action, exhale. Rock back on. When you're rocking back forth, make sure you rock on the out heel, rock around to the ball. See my ankle, twist, let your ankle twist, and when you're on fully bloat, 80% of your weight or your force is on the ball area. That's your big toe. But when you rock back, push your feet, your legs apart just a little, so it goes all the way to the little toe, out the side of the edge, and you're on your heel. If you want to say when people walk, where do you wear your shoes up? On the outside of your heel, out here. So you're basically resting your weight on that area of the foot. Then when you come forward, you rock forward, and then you slowly come in and rotate your feet a little in at the ankles, not the knees. It's the ankles, then back. That's the first thing. This is basic type of breathing. This is for strength orientation of basic push-up. There's other forms of breathing where you use your torso, your breath coordination. I know several of them. I know the soft, we'll get into the meditation later, but the basic, this is first down here when we do exercises. So if I do this, rock forward, then as you're exhaling, slowly come back. This is offset breathing, timing for your during the movement. Most of it. Sometimes you can do it even breathing. Anything you can do active, you can do soft. So it's not a matter of as a preference. So I'm just being more of an active. For some people, they want to do more meditative. Is like when you go like this, if you go really slow in the beginning, it's like really slow, up, pause, drop shoulders, up, pause, drop shoulders. Up, release shoulders, release. As you're inhaling, pause, and then exhale. As you're exhaling, pause, let your shoulders shape your body. Come back onto your heel. So I pull your toes up very slowly. I recommend going very slow in the very beginning so you can feel that you're in control of the tension and releasing process. The breath is an activation process, using the breath to activate areas of your body for release, for strength, any part. How to project your energy through your body is a key element in this program that I'm going to present you. So this is a basic Qi Gong introduction, lower body of moving the feet and the value of the torso, the 3 chambers. Here, 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 inhale, exhale. Start here. When you exhale, start from the chest, go to the diaphragm, and then pull down here, down here. As you're pulling down, don't forget to push this muscle down. You're pushing down. As your toes come up, pull down there, and you can pull your stomach in more, your belly button even more. 2, when you push your belly button out, don't push it straight out. Push it down at a 45. And as you're exhaling, get to center, go back at a 45. Pull it in like this. Because if your hips are in neutral, you can do it. If your hips are kind of like that, you can't. It locks you up. So you know when you got your hips right is that you can tip down here, pull up, and then pull it down. You can actually pull your belly button down like that. So really understanding this is the basic class. This is the beginning. This is lower body activity.